This is our Forex blog for Friday, December 19th, 2014. And pretty much the only reason I'm doing this video is just to showcase what we've been working on and let people know we're still working, but our focus is on trading, and I will show you why our focus is 100% on trading. We're not really trying to get customers, or I should say, unfortunately, I'm getting a lot of emails from people wondering where we are, how come we're not posting pictures and doing videos. And so that's the only reason I'm doing this, just to have less people to email back. Probably for the last 3 weeks, we've been putting in the patterns and keeping statistics each day. This is Fridays right here. There's 20 trades, 359 pips, 90% winning rate, which is the highest I've had on record. The average day is 45 to 55%. The average win is 20.89 pips, and the average loss is 8.3. And again, this is because we're regulated. Let's just factor this as pure hypothetical, and it doesn't count slippage and commissions, although this does use the close of the bar versus the real trailing stop. So in many instances, it makes or loses a few pips more or less. So this was Friday, and you can see the previous day, much more reasonable win percent, 176% or 176 pips net, average win loss. Again, over 2 times bigger win than loss. Previous day, 45% winning, but it did 251 pips, mainly because the losses were so tiny and the wins were so big. Most traders care only about winning percentage, and we probably won't for another month have a winning day of 90%. That's insane. But as you scroll down here, you can see that that's out of the ordinary, but you don't need, in fact, this day with 45% winning did more, or actually not more pips, that made 359, but we had bigger average wins that day. Some of the trades are just astronomical big wins. A lot of the trades, are only for 1 to 5 pips win. The losses, most of them are very tiny, as you can see. A huge number of trades that lose are less than 7 pip losses. That certainly helps when you have wins of over 30 pips. This day was outstanding too. That's the best week we had by far, by the way. 56% winning, 23 pips average win, and slightly less than 7 pip loss. And now, because I'm keeping stats on each pattern, one of the reasons why our win percentage has gone up so much is I keep every single trade. And this is, again, for the last couple of weeks. You scroll down here, you can see I started this pretty much the middle of last month, and there's 773 trades in the last month. And one of the biggest types of trades that we did that had the highest, losing percentage is these narrow range patterns right here. And in fact, I created a whole separate category for these to find out which of these narrow range patterns lost the most, and I put in more and more rules to try to keep the big wins. These narrow range patterns either tend to have 5 to 15 pip losses, or they tend to have 20 to 50 pip wins. So I want to keep as many of these big 20 to 50 pip wins as possible, but get rid of the losses of 15 pips, or the patterns that, like the narrow range 37 pattern. I just fixed this middle of the week. It had about a 35% win rate, which means it loses 2 out of 3 times. And some of the losses obviously are small, and some of them are 15 pips. It can absolutely destroy a trading system. So I'm starting to be more focused on which patterns are, for lack of a better term, just absolutely worthless, and focus on improving the bad ones while leaving the good ones alone. So let me just show you some of the charts on Friday, and this has some dots on there that I'm using for internal reasons, but this is the euro dollar. Got a chart right here. It's initial stop, very small win, short here. Here's initial stop, very small win. The pound yen did really well on Friday. Let's scroll back to the beginning of the day. We had a okay win here, maybe 5-6 pips. Long again here, made 25 pips. Long somewhere down here. The buy order and the stop is off the screen. That one made 40 plus pips. This one here made a little bit of money. And these dots, by the way, are just using the currency indexes and one of the indicators on them, which basically show that the pound's weak and the yen is strong if it shows red, and if it shows green, the opposite. There's a few areas here, and I'm putting in new patterns. I almost have 1,100 patterns in here, by the way. And what's nice about that is because I know I have 1,100 patterns, if I see a trade that loses too frequently and or maybe it rarely hits but it's 50-50, the wins are smaller than the losses, I put in stricter rules to make sure the only times it shows up is when it's likely to work. You can see this trade right here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 46 pips. Wonderful trade, and that's basically probably a fib target of this last swing down, most likely right there at the 1.27 fib target, or it might be one of our bands. Let me just showcase some of the other ones. Here's the dollar yen, and what's nice about our system is it doesn't really trade that much anymore. It used to. We had very loose patterns because I thought the more trades the better, but my focus has changed over the last year and a half to be focusing on 60 to 65% winning trades that are likely to give us 2 times bigger wins than loss. And we're starting to approach those statistics now. You can see it got short right here, small risk, and this one generated 10, 20, 30, 34 pips. And you can see the new dots are starting to showcase a very strong trend. It's very likely to go up, and it does. And it starts to show a downtrend right here. I'm only beginning to put in new patterns based on that new technology. I forgot to take that off in order to do the blog video. And here's the last pattern, the pound dollar. Very big win. Rallied up. Small win here. 15 to 25 pip win there. And you should see a lot more trades as I start implementing more of our currency indexes, which, by the way, I'll just showcase those for those who haven't seen them. What this does is it shows you what each individual currency is doing. Here's the dollar. We created an index just like the Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and many other indexes around the world. It lets you see all the dollar pairs as a chart. And I'm starting to use that currency index technology in our signals. And it's one of the reasons why the winning rate has gone up probably 5 to 10%. And also it tends to find, more 20 to 50 pip wins than before. For instance, the dollar, it's above its hourly moving average here. The daily, weekly, monthly trend is strong. You want to trade that against the currency this week. Well, guess what? The euro, here's the previous day's low in the euro. It's underneath the previous day's low. All right, you want to sell the euro versus a strong currency. The dollar's strong, and so you want to look and focus on sells. Now, my patterns are designed for just extreme probability, and we tend to either buy narrow range breakouts or find the trend, wait for a mild pullback, and get into the trend. For instance, draw your fibs. We have all kinds of swing analysis tools in here. If it stopped at the 50 after 15 minutes to an hour and a half, we would be looking to buy there, but shot right through there, so we don't buy. It was a strong trend until it broke here and here. Now we don't buy it anymore. One of the patterns I hope to put in here in the future is when the price breaks the 62% fib level. If it comes back up and retests it, it's a great place to go short. I might actually put that trade pattern in today before I forget. This is a picture-perfect trade that a professional trader that was manually looking at the charts and drawing fibs and trend lines and such would do. It's phenomenal. But regardless, you had a small win here, small win here. It's designed for our automated trading, and we release these signals into the software so that you can, when you see a trade come up, you can manually place the trade. All right, so that's what I've been doing. As you can see again, let's scroll down a few weeks. You can see a few weeks ago, this day it had 234 pips. That's the 9th of December, 53% winning. 62% winning that day, 249 pips. 66% winning, 467 pips. That was the best day, I think, pip-wise we found. It had a lot of trades that day, as you can see. But this day, 36% winning. Now, I've been focusing on improving the patterns that tend to hit too often and tend to lose. And that's why over the last, week and a half, 10 days, our win percentage has gone up and usually is over 50% now. It's usually these narrow range patterns, as you can see, NR break, loser, loser, another narrow range pattern, loser, loser. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I said the NR break 37 is one of the worst patterns. You'll see that over and over again. I fixed it. So it's, here's one where it wins big, but on that day, later on, you'll see loser here, loser. It hit way too often. This day is a 96 pip loser, 37% winning. Again, that was earlier in the month before I started tightening up all these patterns. This day I only lost 5 pips, 38% winning. Before that, 45% winning, 148 pips. This is when I first started testing the pips per day, 41 pips, 47%. 52% here, 103 pips. 98 pips here, only 30% winning. Again, but if you look at the losers here, NR pattern 37, NR break, they're mostly narrow range patterns. I fixed them. So the win percentage went way up. This is before I started doing the statistics on the patterns and trying to fix the ones. This day I did 204 pips, 57% winning. This is, middle of last month. 143 pips the day before, 28 pips here, 47% winning. Very small wins, very small losers. That was the first day I started to keep stats of each pattern, just to try to improve the development. But if you look from that point on, the number of pips it makes per day has gone way up. 204 pips here, 98 pip loser, 103 pip win, 41 pip win, 148 pip win, 5 pip loss, 96 pip loss, 106 pip win, 153 pip win, 467 pip win, 249 pip win, 234. This is per day, by the way. 169, 264, 162, 480, 251, 176, and then on Friday, 359 pips with only 20 trades. Tons of huge wins. So that's what we're doing. If you wonder why I'm not doing that many videos or posting pictures to Facebook, it's because I'm working on our systems and trading. That's it. We don't care if we get customers, but please don't email us. I'm going to do maybe one, no more than 2 videos per month